Good morning, how are yous? In today's video, we're going to be showing off Blue Eyes branded deck profiles. So without further ado, let's get into the video and do the intro.
I don't need your respect. All I need is victory.
Anyway, okay. So this is Blue Eyes branded. For those of you who don't know, it is like the Buster Lock kind of, but it's kind of cooler. So we have two Blue Eyes White Dragon in the class art. That's just like more than likely the best art. Although in Stampede, there's a brand new art that comes out that's coming out. Whatever, it's like Stampede exclusive, very expensive card, as well as Dragon Master Magia. Can't wait if we pull it. Which you can see if you follow the video, follow the channel. You're going to see I'm going to be opening up a Stampede as soon as it comes out. Unfortunately, I live in Ireland, so everything takes a long time to get to me. But there will be a video. So yeah, the one Blue Eyes Jet Dragon is too good not to use. I'll do a good explanation of this deck this time. So Jet Dragon can just be summoned with the spell card, which I'll go over, and it can be summoned using Sage's effect in hand, which is kind of cool. It also, like, if you get it to the graveyard and your opponent tries to destroy something, it's a really annoying card that you can special summon back from the grave and protect some of your stuff. So yeah, it's an annoying card when your opponent has to deal with it, especially if they use cards that like destroy. Okay, Neo Kaiser Seahorse, because we want to see dragons for seals to go into the branded stuff. We want more dragons, and this just helps out Blue Eyes a lot. Obviously, I'm not running the Prime Eyes stuff because it's too expensive unless they start reprinting it. I'm not going to get that stuff because no way. But anyway, Neo Kaiser Seahorse, when it's used for the link, let's say, you can send Maiden, and then Maiden, when you summon a Blue Eyes from the link, Maiden gets special summon itself. So it's a way to get into combos that way. It has another effect to change the level of a tuner, but we're not going to use that. The main thing is just for the link and to get off your plays with the field spell and stuff. Three of the best starter, Sage. Sage searches a level 1 light tuner. It can be used as the link, and then you go off your plays. If you watch any of your, I think I've done 4 videos on Blue Eyes so far, maybe 3. But each profile is just really, really cool. It also has the extra effect that I use with Master, which a lot of people aren't using. It has the effect Master. Basically, when Master summoned, let's say from the field spell, you'll have a Maiden and a Master. Let's say a Master will add Sage back to your hand from grave. Let's say if you do your combo right. Sage will then target the Maiden, and Maiden will target the Sage in grave after you've used it. And then Maiden will special summon Sage back, so you're not losing a tuner. And then Sage will special summon Jet Dragon. So that's how you get that out. Yeah. Next best card is 3 Maiden. This is also a starter. You can just discard it and you get a True Light face up on your field, and then you can search for wishes or whatever you haven't drawn in your first hand or whatever, opening hand. It also just is level 1 tuner, and like that, like what I said, if it is targeted even with the, let's say, the field spell, it can special summon a level 1 tuner or a Blue Eyes from graveyard. So that's kind of cool. It's like the original Maiden has. And then the one Master, for again the reason I just explained. If you search this off Sage, like some people just search Effect Veiler, which is fine, but like I'm running 3, so I might draw 1, so I don't need to have 2 in my hand because you can only use 1. So what I might do is just search out the Master, and when you go into your plays, Sage goes to graveyard, you can activate Master, and then Sage will get back to your hand, and then you can always just target the Master with the Sage, send it to grave, and then special summon the Jet if you can't have anything else. You know, so like worst case scenario, instead of having an Effect Veiler, I'm going to have like a Jet Dragon. You know, so you have to decide which you'd rather. And obviously it's safer because your opponent can stop stuff on the field, obviously. But yeah, okay, the next card is 3 Wishes. Amazing card. You get so much, like, you don't go plus off it, but it's just a really, really good card, especially with the effect in Grave, which is the Banish. Target a Blue Eyes with a fusion monster, equip it, and then you can basically summon out Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, or you just have the effect of Neo, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, for protection. So you can do that as well. Also, obviously, this card is a search card. So this is discard 1 card and add a level 1 Light Tuner and a spell or trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon. So again, it's getting you into your combo pieces, whatever they may be. And I'll go over some of those combo pieces now. 2 Roar. The Roar of the Blue Eyed Dragon. Basically, if you have a Blue Eyes on field, you can summon Jet Dragon from the deck. So that's kind of cool. Other than that, you can special summon in defense position a Blue Eyes monster from your deck or graveyard or banishment. So it's a way to get into your extra combo pieces. It has like a fusion effect as well when it's sent from grave, and that might come up as well in this. It hasn't come up for me, but you can banish and then fusion summon using the Blue Eyes. The one Mausoleum, which is searchable with the level or the Link 1 monster. It also lets you normal summon twice a level 1 Light Tuner or a Light Tuner. Level 1 Light Tuner, which is also cool. And sometimes it comes in clutch, especially if you need like higher attack. So sometimes your opponent might have, I don't know, a higher attack position monster. Sometimes you can just target a Blue Eyes, send the Blue Eyes from deck to grave, and then you can gain 100 attack equal to the level of the monster. So yeah, pretty cool. We are running the now budget build of Crimson Dragon, because Crimson Dragon is getting reprinted in Stampede. So you search out Synchro Rumble, and Synchro Rumble basically special summons a level 1 Light Tuner or level 1 Tuner from the grave. It also has a protection effect that if a Synchro monster that's level 8, not that we're running any level 7 or 8 dragon, is going to be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish cards and save it basically. Okay, we'll go to the next card. True Light. True Light is a really cool card. The only downside of True Light is if it's destroyed, it destroys all monsters that you control. But other than that, I can special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from hand or grave, and it can set a spell or trap directly from deck that specifically lists Blue Eyes. So you can search out your Blue Eyes White Dragon or Wishes, and it also, like later turn, it just keeps reoccurring on Blue Eyes and then Maiden special summons, and you keep going to your synchro plays that way. And then the last card is Majesty. I think eventually this is probably the only one that will be cut, maybe. I mean, it's a good card, searchable. It destroys up to 2 cards your opponent controls, and you can banish it in Ritual Monster. But I don't know. We'll see. If another card came out that was better than that, I think people would run it. Okay, so that's kind of all the Blue Eyes cards. Big engine. We are running, which are less budget now because it didn't get reprinted. 2 Bystial Rebellion. I dropped this down to 2. Just because you don't want to see 2 Lubellion, so just to have the 1 is fine. And it's a special summon for a dragon for seals, basically, as well as searching out Regained. So that's kind of cool. The 1 Bystial Magnimo is still really good. It searches. The only difference in this profile, I suppose, I'm running is a Baldrake instead of a Druid Swarm. Druid Swarm has gone to 1 in the most recent list. Magnimo's already at 1. But yeah, a Druid Swarm is very good. But Baldrake has the effect that it can target a light or dark. Not that one. If there's another light or dark monster, oh, you can. Okay, so if your opponent activates something, special summons a Ritual Fusion or Synchro XE or Link monster, except during the damage step, you contribute 1 other light or dark monster you control and target one of the special monsters and banish it. So I mean, it's still kind of cool. It's still, I know it's targeted banishment or whatever, but sometimes it comes in clutch. It's just another. If you don't have Druid Swarm, use Baldrake, you know. And then obviously to round off that stuff is Branded Regained. Obviously, what you do is you would use the Bystial effects to banish a light or dark, either your opponent's or yours. Special summon it, and then use the Bystial Rebellion in graveyard to tribute it and special summon Bystial Rebellion, and then his effect is to search out Regained. And Regained lets you just basically special summon every time your opponent summons something, you can special one of these from grave. As well as if you banish a card, you can shuffle one of those banished cards back into the grave or back into the deck and then draw a card. So very, very cool that way. Okay, the new one for this specific deck is Fallen of Albaz. This is a cool board breaker card, and you're only going to be using it on turn 2. The whole point is for you to get seals so that you can interrupt your opponent. So kind of ideally, your opponent would summon something like a starter, and you would seals to bounce. Maybe more. Maybe if your opponent, maybe hold off a little bit on seals. Okay, so your opponent has to have some sort of an established board. Seals would bounce a monster, and then you would summon Fallen Albaz, and you would discard a card, and then you would fuse whatever your opponent has. If you don't if your opponent doesn't have anything specific, you would use one of the light or dark monsters that you control, and then based on that is our extra deck. So I'll go into that as well in a bit. But this is like a super poly. So really, with just seals and a discard, you're having you're potentially like bouncing a whole board just on your opponent's turn, just with seals. So that's kind of cool. Okay, next for hand traps, we're running 2 Nibiru. Still don't feel the need to run 3. Every time I run 2, it feels like people only summon 4 times and then they pass, which is so annoying. And then you just use it as a discard. 3 Ash Blossom, because it is the best currently. I'm running 2 Ghost Ogre, 1 Alt Art, 1 Normal Art. It's just good in the current format. I suppose your opponent has like field spells and stuff up. It's just nice to be able to destroy that, and then they can't get as much off with those field spells. The 3 Effect Veiler, because technically Effect Veiler is kind of a starter in this deck. You can go into the Link monster with this because it is a level 1 Light Tuner, and you can normal summon as well with the field spell as a second normal summon. But you can basically just send this off as the Link monster search, field spell, and then end, like, worst case scenario, you end on a blue eyes, which is nice. So yeah, that's it for the monster things. If in Stampede we pull a few Fulos, Ghost Ogre would change to Fulos, absolutely. Or like Dominus Purge. If you have Dominus Purge, probably run Dominus Purge. 1 Call By, and just because it's a good card, it's at 1. And then 3 Imperm. Like I said, if you have Dominus, probably make space for Dominus Purge, but I don't. Imperm is just an amazing card.
I don't need your respect. All I need is victory.
Okay, spicy extra deck then is the 1 Sanctifier. The reason I've been holding off is because obviously the Banlist came out, and I think everybody thought Sanctifier was going to be hit at some point, just because of what it does. And what it does is, the good thing about this is it requires Fallen Albaz and a light spellcaster monster. So you can easily use your own monsters to go into this. If you end on like a Seals and a Maiden, just for example, even a Effect Failure or something, you know, a light spellcaster monster. You can fuse into this, and Sanctifier will set up a Dragon Lock. So if you know your opponent isn't using a Dragon Lock, if you know your opponent is using dragons, absolutely side this out, and I'll show you what you can side out because I have a side deck prepared. But if not, what you would do is, and I suppose I can show a combo if I remember, but Sanctifier is, you would special summon out your Spirit to your opponent's side of the field. Yeah, you'd summon a Spirit to your opponent's side of the field and give yourself something back, maybe like a Jet Dragon. So what you have is a 3000 attack, an annoyance of a Jet Dragon, and your opponent's locked into special summoning dragon monsters. So even if they have no dragon monster in their extra deck, they're completely locked out of the extra deck. So it's a really, really cool thing. We'll go into that in a sec. But yeah, so we're running the 1 Albion. The 1 Sanctifier, sorry. The 1 Albion, the Branded Dragon. If your opponent has light or dark, you would go into this instead. Or you can just use it. You can do this way to get into Sanctifier as well. So if you use a light monsters, you can use Fallen Albaz and a card you control. Let's say you have Spheres, Albaz, and then something else, maybe like a Blue Eyes. You can fuse the Blue Eyes, even the Synchro, if that was the case. You can fuse into this, and then this can fuse that from grave. So Albion, the Branded Dragon, lets you fuse Fallen Albaz and a light spellcaster from grave, and you can go into this anyway. So yeah, that's how you get over that part. I am not running the dark one. I don't feel the need. Obviously, if your opponent is running darks, fair enough. But I am running Mirror Jade, and Mirror Jade is just a really, really cool card. If your opponent does have some sort of extra deck monster, and it's, let's say, a dragon, and you can't get around your stuff, and you need to just stop your opponent, you can just super poly your opponent's extra deck monster, which is Fusion Synchro C or Link monster, and then you have a Mirror Jade for the price of a discard. You know, so it's not bad. It's pretty cool. Also, he destroys things in the grave and stuff, or destroys things when he's destroyed. Okay, our wishes target is Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So what you would do is you will go into your Synchro monster, as normal, sending this to grave because it was an equip, and then you would use this as in the grave. Your opponent can't target a Blue Eyes. and that's what you'd use that for. Or if it's, let's say, turn 3 after you went turn 1, you can fuse a Blue Eyes equipped with this to just special summon this. You don't need a fusion card. That's what it requires. And this can basically attack all monsters your opponent controls, as well as getting the likes of an Imperm or a Majesty back from grave, which is very, very cool. I didn't realize there was bad shine on that. My bad. There's bad shine. How do we get rid of the shine? I don't know if I can get rid of the shine. Anyway, we'll put it there for now. Okay, so that's it for the fusions. Synchros then, 3 Spirit Dragon, because I like the card, and the 1 Lightstorm Dragon, just in case your opponent has a back row or something. Yeah, like 9 times out of 10 with Master, you can actually go into, you need the first 2 to get your ultimate and your cipher. Your ultimate and your cipher, which we'll go into now in a sec. And then you can always, if you do have a third one, you can have the third one. Third one is like a grave negate. So you have an Omni negate, a monster on field negate, or monster on field negate, and then you have a graveyard negate. So that's why I run the 3. Lightstorm then is just, obviously, like I said, a back row destroyer. Then we're running the 1 Crimson Dragon, which is being reprinted in Stampede, so it's going to be a cheaper option. Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit, which is a Omni negate, which is pretty cool, as well as if it's destroyed by your opponent's effect, it can special summon a spirit, or it's just destroyed by a card or effect. And then Stardust Cipher is to just protect this when it's being used from Spirit's effect, as well as being a monster negate. And that's it for the synchros. Then we're running the 1 Seals, because we're running dragons to make sure that you end on like a Blue Eyes and a sphere and a spheres. And then we're running the 2 Spirit of Eyes of Blue, just to help out with this as well. So sometimes you might need the second one just to go use a monster to go into it. And that's your second dragon. So that's what you use that for. And like I said through the video, that's why you are going into that, to use the dragon block thingy. Anywho, so this is the side deck now. So if your opponent is running a dragon deck, you want to be able to side out all the Albaz stuff, because it is pointless. So I would recommend running a Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit, a Cosmic Blazar, and then your Mirror Logic Aggregator. There's your 3 spaces for the 3 fusion monsters. Yeah, not much to say here. The Ultimate Spirit Dragon is to use in case your first Spirit Dragon, or you don't get into Crimson Dragon or a second one. So you just want to have that one, and then you might turn 3 be able to go into your combo pieces, which is that's the point of it. Cosmic Blazar again is for late game. Like if you do Dragon Lock, you're not going to need any of this, so it's fine. And then Mirror Logic Aggregator is for our Ultimate Slayer, which we'll go into now in a sec. Well, basically just when it's sent, you get to target a monster your opponent throws and negate its effects. For Link decks, we are running Phantasme. Still a good card. I mean, nearly every deck runs some sort of links, bar Ryzel, I suppose. And it's another dragon to go into your sphere, so you can do that. Not too sure how good Lancia is going to be this format, especially with the fucking shine. Especially with Malice and Ryzel getting hit, so I'm not 100% sure. These might change based on the meta, what it's going to be. We have Korkamiru Dragu to stop. If you, let's say your opponent is, like, if you don't want to use your Dragon Lock, you can always go into the Korkamiru lock, which is, you can side this in for Albaz, if you wish, and your opponent can't use light or dark monsters effects, so you can stop the likes of Engraver and stuff. Like that's what the lock does as well, as stops Engraver and Fiendsmith stuff, which is kind of cool. But let's say you don't want to use that, you can just lock out with Korkamiru Dragu and Spheres. And then we're running 3 Ultimate Slayer, because it's very cool. We're running one of all of the types, Link, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, so that we can use Ultimate Slayer, and it's cool. And then the last 3 cards is Book of Eclipse. It can be ashed, but it is still just a board breaker that you might need. And that is it for the video, guys. So please let me know what you think. in the comment section down below if you'd like to see a combo video of this. I can absolutely do that, and I will do that for you. Just let me know. But yeah, follow me on Cardmarket for all my EU friends. Follow me on whatever else I'm on, mainly YouTube. I'm trying to make more content, so show me your support by liking and commenting and talking to me and whatever, that kind of stuff. Anyway, good luck.